YouTube Tuesday from Barnabas Junction, brought to you in association with the Model Railway YouTube community group, MRYCG, connecting the Model Railway community together. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and YouTube. Just search for MRYCG.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's YouTube Tuesday. It is episode 11 of Series 6. How the devils are you all? Hope you are well and enjoying this fine weather. We're warning it's going to get hot in the next couple of weeks. Super hot. And talking of hot, let's roll channel members. Yes, channel members, thank you very much as always for supporting this channel. If you want to become a channel member, there is a link in the description below. Channel members do get access to behind the scenes footage, photographs, videos, etc., and live streams when I get it to be fixed. So thank you very much to all of these for being channel members, for helping to support the channel in every way it does each and every week for these YouTube Tuesdays. Say if you want to become a channel member and get access to behind the scenes and the private Facebook group, then please feel free to join today. From as little as 99 pence a month. What can you get for 99 pence a month these day and age? Absolutely zilch, probably. You might get a meter up the road with petrol. That's about it. So thank you very much to all of those that are channel members. Right, today's show is very, very interesting. As some of you may have seen, the thumbnail, we're going to be talking all about the all-new Deltics from Accurascale. Are you proud of yours? Or have you got problems with yours? That is going to be the question tonight. And I've got a couple of guests that are going to be joining us that you're very familiar with, who own these Deltics. And they're going to tell us a little bit about the pros and cons that they found with theirs. Some of the issues they've had with theirs. Some of the absolutely delightful things they found with theirs. Now, I was sent some information from another modeler. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to include his videos that he sent over to include on this, so apologies to you. I really do apologize. I was unable to get it sorted, as basically it wouldn't allow me to download the video directly off Facebook. So afraid I can't, but I will be talking about you and your Deltics and what you've been up to with yours. So more about that in a moment. So yes, it's YouTube Tuesday. Last week we spoke about other model railways and how showcasing yours. We also had the guys from Blue Tree Models joining us to talk about the company. what it's all about and how you can get in touch with them and discuss things. And we had some great ideas from you viewers out there on potential new products for them to produce for the market. Some fantastic ideas. And I can tell you that those ideas have been taken in and are possibly being worked on. And something special could be coming for you that suggested a product for them to produce. More on that in the coming weeks, so stay posted with myself. You'll be hearing from Blue Tree Models again very soon. No idea on the timescale, but hopefully in a few weeks we might hear something. Right, so yeah, we've got 2 guests that are going to be joining us at least. Well, what I want to do is I also want to offer for anybody else that is owned or owns one of these Deltics yourself. So if you have bought an Accurascale Deltic and you've got issues or no issues, you absolutely love them, then please, you are welcome to come and join us tonight and talk about your model. So I've just posted a link into the chat. Can't guarantee you I can get everybody on tonight to come and talk about it, but I will do my best to get some of you to come and join us. The link is in the chat. My moderators will frequently repost that link for you all. Bearing in mind, I do have a couple of guests and I'm limited to how many I can actually have on the stream at any one time. But I'll try my best to get, and we can have a good chat about the Deltics from Accurascale. Right, before we get to that, let's have a talk about what I've been up to on this layout. As you all know, I've been working on the bridge scene. And the last time you guys saw it, if I remember rightly, I was in the stages of starting to create the extended embankments underneath. Okay? Well, I've made a lot of progress since then. And would you like to see what I've done? Obviously, if you are a channel member, you've already seen all this. I say you get behind the scenes footage. You get to see all this as it actually happens. So yes, I do post as I'm doing progress on this layout. I do post in the Facebook group, the private Facebook group for us modelers that are channel members that do support this. They get to see. Oh, lost the stream then for some reason. Don't know why. We do have, in fact, I don't know why, but it's switched to Wi-Fi. Never mind. Hopefully the stream is fine. What's the H&M controller in the background? Oh, that's a clipper. That's a clipper. I use that for my DC line and also some of my lighting, but not all of it. He went quiet for a second there. Yeah, don't know what happened there, but we'll soon sort it. But we'll get to those guys that are in the basement in a moment. So if you would like to have a look, let's get this camera switched around. Thank you very much down in the basement pulling faces. I'll get to you very shortly, or I'll beat you out the basement. Right, so let's switch the camera around and show you what I've been doing. It helps if I press the right button, doesn't it? Right, let's switch it around. Here we go. Are you ready? Just as the 68 is coming across. What do you think about that, gents and ladies and children and boys and girls? What do you think about that? This side is now 99% complete. We do have, let me get a pointy. I need a pointy. There we go, there's one. So, we do have the embankment here now fully extended. It's all been sculptor mold filled in. It's all been scenic. And my word, was that difficult. Underneath here, trying to add static grasses was an absolute nightmare. We have it all now grassed. We do have the path now. It fits in. We have trees. We have flowers on there. It's absolutely fantastic. I am so over the moon with this. But not only is the front done, would you Adam and Eve it when the 68 goes past? the engineering train. We also have the rear done. 3 trees, overgrowth, and all grassed as well. Let me take you for a look underneath. As you can see, it goes all the way under now. But I still to put the path in on the embankment. But I do think that's absolutely looking fantastic now. Really coming along to look how I wanted it to look from the photograph I was using as a reference. But not only that, I've also started working on the opposite side. So that is all done as well. And we have the first tree on there. I don't think I've glued that one in. I think it's just plonked there at the moment to look. But I do think that is absolutely looking brilliant there with that tree. And again, underneath, that is all static grass, a few weeds growing. Still got to put some up against the walls, just like I've done on that side. But if you can see that, we've got some liching underneath there. And again, also at the back, that's all been grassed now. Absolutely over the moon. So that side is about 80% complete. Still got the weeds, the fencing, the overgrowth to add in. And one final thing to do is, as you also know, I've weathered the embutments and they're all secured in as well. One last thing to do is I ran out of one of my paints, so that bridge support has not been weathered up yet, matched the other one. You can see all bits of static grass balls underneath there. My trusted homemade static grass applicator came in absolutely essential for getting underneath there. So I am extremely pleased on how that has developed. What do you think? Let's have a look at who's in the chat and what you're all thinking. So I'm going to scroll back to right at the very beginning, as far as my chat will show. So we've got Digger Evans, we've got Chelmsford Junction Pete. Good evening, Pete. Good to see you at the weekend. We've got David at Beatonhoff Junction in. Dinmore Junction Model Railway is in. Model Railways Unlimited. Good evening to you. Trevor Stubbs, CSX Wrensville. Flymo Chairman 1. Finnerton Central Model Railway is in. Good evening to you all. Melchester Model Railway. Thank you for joining us. Who else have we got? Leicester Station TMD. Gary, good evening to you. For catching up with everybody. Class 47 Peter, good evening Peter Gower, thank you very much. He's putting a comment in there about I have the 55022 Royal Scots Grey. Only issues I have had when it arrived was a loose bogey chain and some loose details in the packaging. All has been sorted. Superb model, very heavy and brimming with detail. Fantastic. Catching up Flint Hills Model Railway, Jeff Hammond, good evening to you, thanks for joining us. Timo of Blue Tree Models is in there. He says, thank you for last week. Great to connect directly with everybody. Thank you for joining us. Effingham is in. Good evening, Effingham. He says, oops, missed it. Simon Trains Model Railway Showcase. Good evening, Simon. No Schenker. No, keep it quiet. Who else have we got in that we've not said hello to just yet? Crossways Point Junction Model Railway. Good evening. Have I missed anything? Had somebody at the door? No, we're going to get to the Deltic stuff in a moment. Clydebridge Station, good evening. Back, sorry, was giving my car keys to a guy who's MOTing it. Fingers crossed it goes through successfully. Everyone's talking about the Deltics, etc., and all their trains and model railways. Good stuff. Did I just see someone say the train freak was in? I'm seeing someone saying hello to him, but I'm not seeing him in the chat. Maybe he's there, but if you are, please drop us a hello. Can you show us your applicator, says Model Railways Unlimited? I can. I take it you wanted me to show you my homemade one. Yes, indeed. And obviously I'll show you the one I've been using anyway. Right, so let me, before I turn the camera back round then, let me find, because I've moved everything out of the way so I could do tonight's show. Where have I put it? That is a very, very good question. Where's it gone? There it is. I buried it underneath one of my tables. Right. Okay, so I'll just get these on here, make sure they are turned off. Yes, they are. Right. Maybe Lurkin says, as you want, sorry, train freak. Looking good, everyone saying thank you very much. Right, let me turn the camera back to me so you can see my ugly mug. I'll bring them trains to a stop, actually. So we get a bit of peace, so I don't have to shout over everything. Right. So who was it then just asked about that? It was Model Railways Unlimited. Right. So we wanted to just quickly, we'll talk about my applicators. So for the main stuff I use, this is the Pico Scene applicator, which is exactly the same product as the WWS main one. They just the Pico rebranded it. That is the one I use from all the open areas. But yeah, I made a homemade one. I have done a video on actually making this, and I did give one away. I did two, and I gave one away quite some time ago now. But here it is. My homemade applicator cost me £4.90, I think, to make, and it's operated by two AA batteries. They're not brilliant, but they're okay. T-strainer, it's a bit battered actually, and an old fly swatter, a bit of wire, and a nail. That is it. It cost me £4, let's say £4.80, £4.90 to make that, and the majority of the costs was the strainer and the old fly swatter. That was it, and it worked brilliant. And I have actually shown this being worked, so that was perfect for getting underneath that bridge because of the tight spots. Okay, little T-strainer. You obviously can get T-strainers with the different gauze, but this one is really good for the small gauze static grasses, and it has a button, and if we hear it, I don't know if you can hear it on there, but it just shows it works. Ooh. I'm going to charge it up. Oh. Yeah, it sparks, it's live. Discharge it. Yeah, that's discharged. So yeah, Model Railways Unlimited. That was my homemade static applicator. Do you not get shocks from it? Yeah, I've had a couple of shocks from that when I was doing that because we're getting both hands in there. I was got a few jolts. Refreshments tonight. Oh, glasses. Here's the good old nice chilled cause. What are you all drinking tonight in this nice fine weather? So, right, one thing to do before we get on to the story for today, and that is the usual in each show. It's the first shout out of the show. So the first shout out of the show, just had a message from somebody. I'll get to that message in a moment. So the first shout out of the show is actually the person that's just messaged me. Is the chap that was going to be sending me some stuff, some videos. So he deserves a shout out because it's then going to follow on to today's subject. And that is indeed Crossways Point Junction. It is Bernie, currently sitting on 343 subscribers. But with his recent videos on the Deltics, this guy is a genius. He has come up with some great videos on the Deltics. If you haven't seen him yet, you probably have. Please do check him out. I was absolutely stunned with the video on a fix, a cheap, cheerful fix for the Deltics. So I'm not going to say any more, but yes, Bernie of Crossways Point Junction is our first shout. We have done Bernie some time ago, but he does deserve the first shout out of the show today because it's great that his recent videos follow on to tonight's subject. And I do have 3 guests down in the basement already to join us. They will be coming up in about a minute. So great stuff. Rightio. So I do believe we have 2 of the guests in the basement have problems. I know one of them has a major problem, one has a minor problem, and one apparently has no problems. He's absolutely over the moon with his. So I think it's time now. We've done our first shout out. Do check out Bernie. Remember, when you do subscribe to a channel, interact with the channels, click the bell, select all notifications, and give them some thumbs ups on their videos. Definitely his Deltic fix video deserves a thumbs up. It's getting lots of attention, and a lot of people are really happy with the results that he's given, who people have had the same problem. So I'm just going to check, see if any of you, yes, he's gained a couple of subscribers already. It's fantastic, everybody. Brilliant. I'm just getting some private messages from the guests. They're saying some interesting facts about their Deltic, so we'll be getting to you in a moment. We're getting there very shortly. Don't worry, guests, we will get to you. Right, I tell you what, it is hot up here today. First time I've come up to do the show, actually. First time I've been up here a couple of days now. And the last couple of days, the temperature has risen. So it is good. The weather is going to be getting exceptionally hot, apparently. I don't know if you all know, but the weather predictions for by the end of next week, between now and next week, the temperatures are going to rise into the high 20s for the majority of the UK. But it's not going to stop there, apparently. They have predicted, this is from the Met Office, so all you loft, shed and bedroom layout modelers, beware. Temperatures have been predicted to be blown apart here in the UK by mid to the end of July. So time to start taking care of your models. Time to start taking care of your track. Be prepared, because temperatures have been predicted to reach 40 Celsius or higher here in the UK, which will blow all-time records if it does. Somewhere in the UK is set to hit 40 Celsius or maybe higher in about 2 weeks' time. That's what they're predicting is potentially going to happen. There's nothing to say it's going to happen, but it's a good time now to start looking at your layouts, looking at your models, and if they are in a really hot, potentially a really hot place, get them somewhere where they can be protected from this excessive heat. It's on its way, apparently. So fingers crossed. I know I'm okay up here. I've got the loft window. I've got great ventilation up in this loft, and it does get hot, but not extremely hot. I've recorded temperatures in about 31 in here, but it's never been really any higher because we've got a good flow of air, and I do occasionally put a nice big metal fan in here to keep things cool, so which you have seen on previous things. So be prepared, look after your trains. They are expensive models, majority of them, and if they get damaged from the heat, they could turn out to be an expensive repair. Okay, with that saying, let's just have one quick look at Bernie, seeing how he's doing. Yes, his subscribers are climbing. Fantastic stuff. Right, let's have a quick look at the chat. Skipsy Trains is in. Good evening to you. Donegal Dad Rail, Mark, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Anyone else I've missed? Everyone's saying it's going to be murder in that heat. I'm emigrating to the North Pole, says Pete of Chelmsford Junction. Who else have we got in? Yes, it was 41 in my shed. Wow, it's a hit 41 in my shed, says Digger. Best is take your locos out of the sheds or lofts and put them in a cool place. Mick of Edgeley Park Station. Nice shirt. It is, isn't it? I'm having a wood burning stove installed on the 14th. Hope they don't test it. Oh, crikey. I'm coming with you, Pete, says Brian of Finton Central. Right. People are asking for shout outs. You have to wait and see if you are one. If you want, as always, if you want a shout out, you want to recommend yourself as a shout out, you have to send an email into me at barnabasjunction@gmail.com. You can recommend yourself or you can recommend other channels. But one thing is, it must be a model railway channel, not a railways channel, or it can have a mix of both, but it has to feature a model railway. So it can be your own channel or other channels that you wish to recommend, you can do so. Right, it is time to bring in. Let me just answer this message. Hang on a second. I've just said what my email address is. But I won't be able to do anything right now with it, I'm afraid, because obviously I can't access it while I'm doing the show. So maybe we can follow on with that at another time, maybe next week. Right. So thank you very much. Crewe Open Day, the 16th of July. Are you going, Jason? Yes, I am. What have I done? Oh, I've left them downstairs. They're in the little room on the shelf. There will be I will be announcing details regarding the competition for next week's show. So make sure you tuned in next week because I've got tickets for the DRS Open Day to give away to you lucky viewers here on the show. 2 adult tickets and 4 children's tickets are going to be given away to some of you. Let's get on with the Deltics. What are we going to talk about first? Yes, obviously the Deltics. I have been sent a little video. So before I bring the guys in, let's have a look at this.
Is it?
Yeah.
Cool on there.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome.
Deltic it was actually pulling a class 68 DRS, so it was even top notch. Extra video. So good evening to you guys joining me this week. We do have Jeff Reedman of Jumble Lane. We have Craig of New Durham Junction, and we have Robert of Robert's Train Set. Good evening to the three of you. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Jeff. Hello, Robert.
Hello. I'm sorry to rog in your show. I was on last week as well.
No, you're welcome, Robert. Anytime. You've got something to show us about a Deltic you own. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a chat. I'm going to speak with you individually and as a group as well. Craig, you've got your Deltic right in front of you. I know Robert's got a Deltic as well. Quick question, one at a time. Craig, how many Deltics did you buy?
None, because this one belongs to a good friend. He's letting us borrow it on New Durham Junction for the foreseeable future.
That's cheating.
Robert, how about you? How many have you got?
I've got the one.
And which one have you got?
I've got the. Hang on, me and my memory.
He's forgotten already. He did tell me in the private chat.
Yeah,
but this one
Islander. So yeah, it's here.
Lovely.
So 9021. So
and if I'm right, is that the same one that Jeff's showing on the screen right now?
No,
it doesn't look like it. Oh, I don't know.
Which one is that, Jeff?
that's the Prince of Wales Yorkshire Regiment.
Prince of Wales Yorkshire. And you've got so we're actually featuring 3 different Deltics then from you 3 guys. So great stuff. Right.
They're all blue.
So obviously, the title of tonight's episode is Class 55 Deltic by Accurascale. Proud of it or got problems with it? So who out of the 3 of you and everybody else that's also in the chat, are you proud of it?
100%. If I do, I definitely have one.
Oh, I love it. I think it's great. But I've got issues.
Yeah, I like it, and I've got issues. Yeah.
Right.
I like it. I've got no issues.
Well, Craig, you could say you haven't got any issues because you don't actually own it, do you?
No. So basically, Darren's logo, it's got no issues whatsoever. It's come to New Durham Junction for a nice run out to get bedded in again. Stretched legs basically. Put some miles on it.
Excellent. So let's have a look at the chat. Let's see what everybody else is saying about theirs. Good evening to Evanswood Central joining us. Timber Surf also joining us. Mike of Pudham Junction. Mark of Hemel Down Model Railway also joining us. So let's have a look what people are saying. Please comment. Are you proud of yours? You own one, or do you have problems with yours, or is it a mixture of the two? On tonight's game show, how crap is yours?
How crap is yours?
From Brian. I'd like one, and that's my issue, says Model Railways Unlimited. Yeah. Timberserve says, I have 2. Only taken one of them out of the box, though. Chelmsford, we need one made for N-gauge. Interesting, yeah. Newland Railway says he sent his back to Accurascale for an exchange. Please, Newland, if you'd like to let us know what was the reason you sent yours back, please let us know. Melchester Model Railway saying, mine seems fine, but the drive hold doesn't work. Interesting. And yes, Flymo's just posted about eBay sales. Apparently, these are going for silly money on eBay. Greg's pressing buttons.
Yeah.
Sorry,
So let's have a look. Has anyone checked eBay today? The resale value is starting around $330 and £440 for a Accurascale Deltic.
What?
Yeah.
My word. How much? Obviously, Accurascale do a price promise, don't they? Whatever price they've stated they were going to be, they've held them, I presume.
160 DC ready and 250 or is it 260 sound fitted.
Which in this current climate, that's good
It's
pricing.
nothing. It's good prices.
Yeah, I paid $250 for mine.
So yours is a sound fitted, is it, Robert?
Mine's sound fitted. Now I'm going to make everybody sick. I don't tend to pre-order anymore. I got fed up with waiting, and I had a chap on a comment today who's sort of got the same problem as me, but he'd been waiting for 2 years for his. I bought mine on one day, and it was delivered the day, not the day after, but the day after that. So I bought it on. I've forgotten now. It's in the past, isn't it? But I've got it on my. Post on my channel, Robert's Train Set, and you can have a read of it. And I've also got. It's not exactly a fix, but I've come up with what I'm going to do if I get any more of these chains coming off, because that's my biggest bugbear.
Yeah, I think a lot of people. I would say that's probably what I've seen.
It's the most common fault.
The most common fault, yeah. Although these chains are supposed to actually be detachable, there's a lot I've seen people saying they are detached, but they're unable to reattach them.
Yeah, can I show you something?
You only detach them to actually get the body off if you need to get the body off.
That worked well.
I'm making a couple lights on this.
Yeah, I think we are all awake, you know. You don't have to wake us all up.
So I've just muted him.
They are difficult to try and get back on. In fact, I can't get mine back on.
So I don't think you're going to see this very well. But
let's have a look.
So you got the chain, and I'm not sure I got the right side at the moment, but there's a chain, yeah?
Yeah, I can see the chain just about.
And what I was experiencing, and I suspect other people, was they were literally falling off. I actually did an unbox. Well, I didn't do a proper unboxing. I did a sort of a muted unboxing, and I had one bit in the bottom of the packet, one little tiny bit, black bit, and I thought, great. As I was doing this with the loco to show everybody, a train dropped down, and I said, I've got the chain off, right? So, okay. I thought I'd stick it back on. Now, I'm getting on a bit. I shake a bit. My eyes aren't great, and I'm not.
And the fiddly anyway.
They're fiddly. And what happens is the chains tend to always want to go in the bogies or in the bodywork and not where you want them to go. So I've had 3 fall off. So I've only got one on that is as it was. 1. 3. I've also only got one of the ladders left. One was missing when it came.
I think Jeff has had a problem with the ladder.
Yeah, one broke off. And then when I was trying to fit, what happens is you try and fix the chains and then you knock other bits off. That's what I'm finding with me. So what I've come up with, and again, this is on my post, if you want to have a look, is I'm getting fed up with sticking them on and then they come off again. Now, the last chain to come off actually came off on the layout when it was running in and derailed the whole loco quite seriously. And then I brought it down to reattach it, and then the whole thing fell off. So not only did it go off, this one actually went off the bogie, whereas all the others had come off the bodywork. This one came off the bogie, and then as I brought it down, it fell off the bodywork as well. So I had a little chain in my hand. And I thought, we can't go on like this. Now, it might be my layout. I've got, most of my layout is second and third radius. If you're running it on your nice big curves, sweeping curves, it's probably what. But obviously, this is going to get quite a bit of movement.
A lot of movement. It's going to need a lot of movement. Yeah.
So I think I'm not saying everybody will have a problem. If you can take it up on your layout and leave it there, even with the 40 degrees E that you've just prophesied, maybe. But I've always brought my locos down. I never leave them in the loft. It's 85 up there at the moment. I went up and had a look before I came on this, which is why I'm down here. But I've actually taken that chain that came off. I've cut a little tiny bit off of one end and stuck it to the body.
Yeah.
And the other bit, I've sort of stuck it to the bogie. So I've sort of looped it as it would loop, stuck it to one end, stuck it to the other. So it's still loose in the middle. Yeah. And I haven't done it very well because the wet on the body, I should have gone up a bit higher. But, it looks so good. And when you're running around the layout, how many of you actually see the chains? They're black. They're with the black bogie. You don't see it. But I would like to keep it intact. And that's what we've done. And again, all I will say is you obviously mustn't make the bit that you cut off to go on the body too long so that it doesn't foul on the bogie. Yeah. So that's what I've done. I can't really show you it because it's not clear, but I have got quite a reasonable photograph on my post if you want to have a look at it. All right?
Yeah, definitely. So check Robert's out. Just looking at what people are saying in the chat. So a lot of people saying a lot of people are having companies are having problems with detailing. That's the thing with detailing, though, is it's obviously it's what people are asking. But me personally, I've never put any detailing from out of any packs on any of my trains. They're still all wrapped up in the packets. But this day and age, a lot of these locomotives that are coming out, a lot of the rolling stock that's coming out that needs detailing, it's already on them. So it increases the chance and the ability for it to become damaged in transit. Now, I'm not knocking Accurascale at all for this because we all know Accurascale have been brilliant releasing some absolutely incredible products over the past few weeks, months actually. And they are phenomenal. They are a manufacturer now to be reckoned with against all the others. Absolutely. So top marks for Accurascale for their quality of product releasing and stuff like that. Now I'm putting this down to the manufacturer, down to the manufacturers, not the company, the Accurascale, because at the end of the day, Accurascale are the company that are bringing it to the market. They're not the people that are actually building these models and then sending them over to the UK, because obviously coming from China. So it's in the production part, on the production line, the transportation side of things, and then in the post. These detailings are extremely fragile, and it doesn't matter how much you wrap it up in cotton wool and bubble wrap, it still gets shook about. And because this detailing is so fine, it will absorb impact no matter how much you wrap it up. Yeah, so these chains, are they plastic?
No, they're metal. Can I disagree with you? Am I allowed to disagree on your screen?
Sorry?
Right, okay. Ultimately, it's Accurascale's fault.
Responsibility.
It's their responsibility, yeah, I agree with that.
It's their fault. They've designed the train, the engine, haven't they?
Yeah, they've designed it, yeah.
Yes, they want chains on. Now, I don't know if all of you would agree with me, but, you know, having chains fitted to a bogie that's part of the chassis and the body that got to come off is a bit of a pain, surely.
I agree. Actually.
So it means if we want to take the body off, we have to break the link on these chains. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's because it's supposed to unplug
it's supposed to be removable anyway, isn't it?
There's a little plastic bit pulls off from the body.
Yeah, you just unplug it from the body. That's why it isn't glued in the first place.
Yeah.
It's just that they don't fit in such a way that they can remain seated inside the body, inside the fixing.
Yeah, we had a problem like that on the 66, perhaps.
What I would have said really is they should have been in a detailing pack, and the modeler should have had the opportunity for them to them on or not, because like Barnabas just said, you've got to remove them just to even simply take the body shell off, to do anything that you might want to do, change the, because what happens if the chip blows?
Well, the chip is in the removable cover.
Yeah, it's got a cover on for the chip, hasn't it? Yeah.
So
good idea.
Right. To the decoders quite easy.
Yeah. Now, what I'm saying is, in the design stage, right, we want these chains, but why not do what I've just done on one of mine? You know, have the chain there, by all means, have it in metal if you want, but, you know, actually literally break it. So it's there, and when the loco's going straight, it lines up. Okay, it'll go off a little bit when it goes round the bend, but, you know, it's like
Peter Towers.
Made permanently, and it doesn't compromise getting the body.
I think what they've done is that they have, Accurascale really have been counting rivets. I don't care what anybody says. They have counted rivets, and they have put everything down to the last detail. You can't fault the thing for detail and the amount of detail it has.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're brilliant.
In my mind, you can either buy a loco which goes on your leg, or you can buy a loco that goes in a cabinet for display. This is just one loco. It's for the cabinet for display.
Yeah,
you buy it as a loco on your layout, but it's too delicate. It's too fine. I've got a Sutton 24, and that Sutton is just as good, if not better, for detail. But it's solid. I've got the horns on this are like a flexible plastic. The paint that they're painted with is hard. So if you knock one of these, and obviously one has been knocked, the horns, but the plastic just chips. The paint just chips. So the paint is coming off one of my horns. That's just one of the problems. I've found a part when it came out the packet when I was unboxing it. I cannot find where it goes. A brilliantly detailed part. It's about 2.5 millimeters long. I just can't find it anywhere. Where to put? I don't know where to put it. I got two of the what's this missing? The drive hold doesn't work, or at least I don't know how to use it. And I've used drive holds in other locos, and they seem to work. There is a slight vibration in the sound while it's running on the rolling road, and I can demonstrate that. It also has got glue on the wheels or something on the wheels, because you can hear them just hit it when it's on the rolling road, and there is something possibly wrong with the drive chain. Inside, it's either the shaft which goes to the bogie from the motor, or something else. But somewhere along the line, there is it's like a big end gone on a car, really. And it's on the rolling road here, and I can demonstrate it if you want.
Yeah, well, just for the reference, I don't own a Deltic. I don't have one here to reference. So obviously, I'm just talking in response to what I've seen from others. Lots of people are really, really pleased about their products. They've got no faults whatsoever. Some people have got little tiny faults. some people have got major faults. Now, Jeff, I've spoken with Jeff before tonight's show, and he's shown me already some of his serious faults. And I've also had a chat with Bernie, Crossways Point Junction, who I think he's got 4 of them. I think it's 3 or 4 of them. And he's featured a lot of videos on his channel regarding, I think 2 of them are perfectly fine, faultless. I think it's 2. But 2 of them have got issues. One being missing parts, as in not chains missing, internal parts missing. And also the condition of the PCB soldering is absolutely atrocious on a model he displayed on one of his videos. Now, I've worked in electronics. I am a fully professional solderer. Well, I was. I'm shit. Excuse my language, and I nearly swore. I am rubbish at it this day and age because I've lost all my experience. I used to be a fully qualified PCB builder for an electronics company building car alarms. So I've worked in the industry. I know professional soldering. I know how it should be done and how it shouldn't be done. I know if it looks right and if it looks wrong. What I saw on Bernie's video about the soldering would have been an instant reject in the industry. It would have not passed quality control. So I don't know about anybody else. Bernie's is the only one I've seen regarding internally on the soldering. So if anybody else has had the lid off, what's your soldering on your PCB boards inside? What's the condition of that? I'll be interested to know your thoughts on that. Drop us some messages in the comments of the video or comments after the live stream has ended. Let us know. Continue to let us know. I am watching the live chat. There's a lot of people talking about things about theirs and talking about their thoughts on this sort of subject. But yeah, this is it's an open debate. Everyone will not everyone will agree on things. And that's what an open debate's all about. It's about agreeing to disagree. And I agree with some stuff. I disagree with some stuff. But I will agree to disagree as well. I'm happy for everybody to talk openly about any problems. Just like Robert said there, he says, he disagreed with my opinion. Quite welcome to. I actually fully appreciate any disagreement you have, Robert.
Can I come in again?
Yes, certainly, and then we'll go back to Jeff.
I've got a chat here from Railway 187. Good evening to you. And it says, I'll read it, but we aren't going to ask for moulded details instead of separately fitted, are we? Well, what I'm saying about these chains is, I'm not saying, I suspect that with the modern plastic technology they have now, they probably could do a very good fist of doing plastic coming off the bogie and then on the actual bodywork. But what I'm saying is we can have a separate chain. It's just that it's split where it needs to be split and it's fixed to the loco permanently and it's not loose. So that when your bogie goes round the bend, it doesn't get wobbled about, which is what's breaking it. Or the other thing you could have done is, as the chain itself is metal, why not extend both ends of that and maybe put a little hook on it that it actually hooks onto the body and onto the bogie? That would facilitate coming off when you need to, but it would be very easy just to do. Okay, I appreciate that where it goes into the hole in the body, it won't look like on the proper train engine. But, it's got to be practical. Yeah. The detail is good, and I love the detail. But let me put it another way. I've got a Daypole 68, and I'm sure quite a few of us have. It's a lovely model with a lot of detail, but I've never had anything fall off it. I don't have to be, picking it up.
I will admit I have. I've had buffers fall off and some vacuum hoses, but literally they've just gone straight back on. Not a problem.
Yeah. But mine's got a lot of use. In fact, it's on the layout now, and you probably
the
see
TPE one, absolutely no problems. Nothing's ever. My DRS one was first edition, which was subject to a few issues, but they've obviously been resolved. But all manufacturers are going to have this kind of problem because the consumer is asking for the more detail. So to be the bee's knees, the manufacturers are supplying these products with this extra detail. So us as customers, I suppose, in some way, have to be prepared that there will be issues along the way at some point. Not everybody will. Some people won't. Some people will. But this is what we're paying for. This is why a lot of the prices are going up on products, because the detail, the attention to detail, especially with these Deltics. I've seen the real thing, and I'm thinking, wow, anyone would think they are pretty much the real thing now. They are. The Accurascale have really gone to heaven with the quality of detail.
Yeah, and for 250 quid, I think it's quite a good buy. What I paid.
Yeah, definitely in this day and age.
That was
Euro Phoenix.
That was from a Accurascale. I bought it direct from them. Yeah, and I think I got the last one that was sound. I think I did.
Oh, lucky you!
Because I went back on and had a look, and the whole of those Sutherlands are gone. Even even the ready ones are gone. So I think I was very lucky to get that. And me being train set, it doesn't matter what one I have. I must admit, I'm glad I've got the BR Blue, because I've got the the Mark 1 rake of BR Blue carriages, so it'll look good once I'm still running it on 03. Because it's not in iTrain, so I'm running it on my DigiKeys command station, and I did try hold on it, and it didn't seem to work either.
Right.
But it may be because I've not given it a number, and it's not actually in the. When I get it on iTrains, it might. I don't know. We'll see.
Right. So an interesting fact.
Yeah, I'm not actually going to take it apart to try and sort it out, because What I'd say is it's a lovely model. It's superbly detailed, and it really looks the business, and I'm sure we'd all agree with that. But it still needs, let me put it this way, if I'd have bought it and we hadn't got all these issues, I'd be absolutely loving it now.
Yeah.
But because I've had these issues, and because I've had to try and repair these things and knocked other bits of it just takes that pleasure out of owning it.
Shine off it.
Yeah, it takes the shine off it, as Jeff says.
Yeah. So, but yeah,
you waited 3.5 years for it.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't waited 2 days, so
Well,
sorry about that.
Rubbing it in.
I pre-ordered mine when they first announced them.
It's over 2 years ago, isn't it?
3.5.
3.5 years ago. So you've been waiting for 3.5 years, and I've waited less than 3 days. So here we are. Sorry, mate.
I'm gutted. I've got to the stage where I'm upset. I can't even bring myself. I've written about 6 versions of a letter, which I shall email to Accurascale, but I haven't been able to bring myself to do it, because the last thing I want to do is package this up and send it back, because I might not even get one from that point on.
Did you order this particular one because you want it for your layout? It's got to be this one.
Well, it had to be this one because I'm from Yorkshire. This is the Yorkshire Regiment one.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was the one reason I chose this model.
Yeah.
Well,
right then. So let's get over to Jeff now. You might be actually quite interested about the problems Jeff has actually had with his, because I don't think I've seen anybody else mention these exact issues. If you have, please let us know in the comments afterwards. So Jeff, over to you. I'm going to bring you up on full screen, Jeff, because I'm interested in when you come to show people all about the issues with yours. So I'm going to bring you full screen. Over to you.
Okay. Right. Both of these chains are off, and they're just dangling down, and they do catch on the track or anything that's close to the track when they do fall over. And this has become derailed 3 times in 15 minutes of running time on the layout. Hence, it's on the rolling road. But I'm just going to fire it up now. I'm not going to put sound on it. It'll be without sound, and I'll just run it so it runs at half speed. It's on 14 steps out of 28.
I'm just going to say, if anyone from your Accurascale is actually watching tonight, then please do get in touch in the chat with us. Others, please say hello. And obviously, Jeff said he's quite scared to send off his problems, his letter of problems with his. If you want to get in touch with Jeff directly, then please feel free to.
But you can hear it's clattering, and I think that's because there are there's glue on the wheels that other people have experienced. But when you knock the speed up a bit,
it actually sounds like the sound's on.
Oh, blimey, yeah. The big end's going, definitely.
Yeah, I could say that. Big end's definitely going.
Probably in both engines, I would imagine.
Sounds like a bit like possibility of a warped worm gear, maybe.
Yeah. Or could it?
I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I've only tonight, since putting it on here, experienced a vibrating speaker, which is
right. You've now got that as well.
That's something which has only come apparent tonight while I was waiting before the stream, and I put the sound on. It doesn't do it until you're actually running, so I don't know if it's helping. The vibration of the running of the vehicle is actually making something shake inside, so it's the speaker is either loose or whatever. But I am not going to take it apart. I am not going to attempt to repair anything. I'm going to leave it as is, and I will be contacting Accurascale. I'm not going to slate them. I love it. I don't really want to get rid of it. I have been offered full price for somebody to buy it off me, right. And I was umming and ahhing to let it go. But I've waited 3.5 years for this. I'm absolutely gutted, and I would just like it to be. It doesn't have to be 100%. It can be 99%. And for me, I don't want the chains to be on. In a sense that I'm not all that bothered if I didn't have the chains on. It's not something that means the world to me to have them.
Are the chains actually fully removable?
I think the more a permanent fix to the bogie, rather than the body. I mean, like I say, the design is such a way that they come off the body, so you can remove the body. And all it is a hole in the body, and it's at the end of the plastic joint at the end of the chain has got a peg in it which goes into the hole.
Got you.
I cannot. When I tried attaching the first one that fell off, I just couldn't do it. And the other one, I think the peg is actually broken off, and I think that's got because it sort of caught when it was going, when it either got derailed or when it.
Bernie in the chat has just said that the chains are fully removable. There is a bit on the bogie that just pulls out.
And if that's the case, fine. And like I said, I am not 100% bothered if I don't have the chains on.
Yeah.
Similarly, it's like you said about the detailing pack. All my locos that I've bought new that come with a detailing pack, the detailing pack stays in the box.
Yeah, that's because that's exactly what I've done with mine. In fact, I'm just going to bring us back into multi-screen because Robert is just actually showing us something on the screen. If you wanted to show everyone again.
Hang on, get the right one. Like these are all the bits I've had break off, and I've just stuck them on. Now that was what the chain was seen to be fixed to on the bodywork.
Right.
And that just broke. The chain just broke off it like that. So this is the one that was off of the one that had broken off the bogie in the first place.
Yeah.
And then as I carried it down to repair it, the chain broke off of that. That was left in the loco body.
Right.
So I just think it's not robust design, I would say, is what I would say. And it's a shame. But
it is a shame.
Yeah, Accurascale has made
we all like and we all strive for this level of detail, or at least something close to this level of detail. I mean, how long ago was it where it was all sort of the separate wipers, the wipers being a separate rather than just a sort of raised part on the body, but actually fitted over the actual windows themselves, and they are separately fitted. And the handrails on doors and the body are separately wire. That was only sort of 12 months, 18 months ago. It was raving about that. And now you've got this level of detail. It's fantastic. But at what cost do we have to pay? And all these people who's really happy with their models, how long will it be before all of a sudden they realise the steps aren't there no more?
Ah, right. Yeah. So, Robert, you said you've had steps.
Yeah, I've lost 3 of mine. So I had 3 chains fall off, 3 steps fall off, and a bit of detail in the front.
I've had 2 steps that's come off.
But I've got thick fingers, and I think somebody like John Warner from Piccadilly, he'd have no trouble at all doing this, would he? He can do if he can do N-gauge and what he does on N-gauge,
I admire anybody who does N-gauge.
I think I really should be an O-gauge modeler, but I don't think enough room to do it, or a big enough bag balance, to be honest. And I don't know
with detail what Accurascale's missed out on. What Bachmann's done. What Accurascale should have had was the opening doors like Bachmann do on their 37s.
To me, I think that's just a gimmick. I don't see the point in it.
But obviously,
a lot of manufacturers started with the opening doors, and now they've stopped it on the latest tooling of lots of models because they're staying open.
Yeah. Now, obviously, just going on, obviously, Deltics, we've had Bernie on there at the beginning as the shout out. Now, I did say that Bernie's the first shout out for a particular reason because he obviously did a lot. Oh, look at those split head codes. That's lovely. Bernie has done a lot of videos on these Deltics. Now, he had the issue with a couple of issues, but one of them I want to highlight is regarding the speaker rattle. Is any else? You just said, Jeff, you've just found out you've got a rattly speaker.
It's only minor, and it's only at certain revs where, and it was the actual coming down from speed. It was resonating at a frequency that caused it to rattle. Now, it was only a certain range of revs, so it's obviously.
I watched the video of Bernie showing the speaker rattling.
Yeah, it's
then I saw the video of him opening up the rattling Delta, and I was quite stunned to find out there were screws missing, and that's why it was rattling.
The screw missing from the bottom. It was yours, wasn't it? Well, your video where one of the screws is missing at the bottom, underneath.
No. Yeah. Bernie did a video, and he opened it up, showed the speaker, and they've got like the 2 brackets that sit over the ends of the speakers to clamp it down to the model, right?
Yeah.
The one nearest the cab end, that was screwed down. The bracket near the chip, the decoder, it wasn't even screwed down. There was no screws in it. The screws were missing. He just literally got a screwdriver and just lifted the bracket straight out of the loco. It wasn't screwed down at all. So the speaker could do that and vibrate in the loco.
Just going to go get the charger from my phone because it's running down 5%.
I was like, how can that get missed in the manufacturing? And how many others have got rattly speakers and think it's a damaged locomotive when in fact it's because screws are missing? It'll be interesting to know, Jeff, when you come to it, maybe, I don't know if you would take the top off and have a look.
I am not going to touch it.
Anybody else out there that has opened the Deltics for a rattly speaker and found a possible fix? I know Roads and Rails did a short video on a potential fix for the speaker rattle, and that was, which I thought was going a bit too far, and that was to glue the fans solid, because apparently the fans in the top, they do move. They're not motored or anything, but they will. You can spin around. They do move round. But Roads and Rails, he did a video and he actually glued the pivot of the fans solid, because he says it was the fans that were causing the speaker to rattle. He glued it solid, then filed the base of them down, which apparently fixed the one he had, the rattle in the speaker. Bernie's was missing screws on the bracket. He did then. Obviously, he ain't got any screws to do it, but what he did, he put a bit of black tack underneath the speaker, stuck it down, fixed the problem straight away. But as a modeler spending all this money, should we be the people that need to be fixing something that costs that much?
No.
Nope.
That's the biggest.
And
out the box.
Yeah, and the
If
reason,
you've had it 6 months and all of a sudden you find a buffer missing or there's a step missing, you can quite often my 68, my DRS 68 loses a buffer.
Yeah, mine too.
Yes.
Mine too.
It's because they're sprung buffers and the way they're fitted in they're not really clamped.
Yeah.
So basically, I expect to lose it, and I lost it for quite some time until I was changing some track, and then all of a sudden it appeared.
That was exactly. I was doing some scenics and I found my buffer. I was like, "Oh, that's where it's gone."
Yeah. So it's been reunited, and that's back together again. But my TPE, I've had no issues whatsoever with that.
Mine neither. Now, Robert, you're holding a 37 now. Now, what manufacturer is that?
any ideas? Anybody going to guess what this is?
To
Is
me,
it a Vitrains?
I'm going to say
Vitrains.
Lima.
No. It's a Hornby Railroad 37.
So yeah, it's a
with
Lima.
sound, and it came with sound for £85 when I bought it new.
Wow.
So I detailed it up a bit by just using a felt tip pen to sort of highlight the grills and so forth.
Yeah.
And I fitted the illuminated models lighting.
Right, you put lighting in it.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I came to do it, the lights in the lighting pack for me were there, and this logo didn't have any holes there. It was so I've got the only class 37 with this configuration at the front and the back. But it's very light. But if I hold those bogies up, and I know it's difficult to see, but they're not really
still
bad.
Quite well detailed.
Yeah. I've got the backman what's the names on the front.
That's what was the plough on the front. That was that was getting me. I was thinking,
that's a
that looks
backman
Batman to me. But then I thought,
that's a Hornby class, Railroad 37.
Which the railroad range is the ex-Lima tooling. Just been slightly remodeled.
Yeah. But it is it was bought as a Hornby TTS decoder, which it's still got. I did actually change the speaker in this, and I'm not absolutely certain that it made it that much better.
What you can do, Robert, is turn the CV settings up on a TTS, and it gives them a better app. If you turn up to number 7, it's 100% better than what they are. Because on setting number 4,
well, I'm a bit dubious to play with.
Dead easy to do.
Yeah, no. I'm a bit dubious because I've got a 47, which is again a railroad one, which I put the lights in, and the sound was already in it, and a sort of comparable price. Mm-hmm. And I always thought it was a bit quiet, so I did turn the volume up full on, and it blew the decoder.
Jason's got my plus 60 it is, and they're being turned up.
Yeah, well, I've now upgraded the speaker on the 47, and it sounds quite good. So
I've got my Batman Euro Phoenix 37. That's sound fitted, and the sound on that is exceptionally quiet. Really, I actually would like it a little bit louder, but I've been trying to turn it up, but it wasn't great.
You can turn it up with one of your functions.
Yeah, it was tried to turn it up. You can lower it, but it is actually on maximum. It won't go any louder.
The Southwest digital sound file is really quiet in them.
Yeah. Right. Funny enough, have you seen Mr. Dodge, the train outside, who was over here for a month? I went to New York. I did a 500-mile rail trip, the day after the National Rail strike, there and back. And the video's going up on Friday, so you can see whether I got there and back in one bit. But we had a good time, and I noticed he's got a video on. He's in Marklin. He's a Marklin man, really, over in America. And he had a loco that he says doesn't pull anything. You know, it's hopeless.
Right.
And he sort of, I think there's, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not talking through the top of my head, although I think the cap will probably stop it going out. But, if you've got a loco that is too light, which is what he's saying it is, and it was about, he's bought another Marklin of the same model, but it's a newer one, and it's half as heavy again as this one. And he was saying it doesn't pull, but what he didn't say is, was it not pulling because the wheels were slipping, or it just hasn't got the room to pull it? Now, if it's the wheels aren't slipping, then I don't think that is a weight problem, because if it was a weight problem, the wheels would spin, wouldn't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Just like in a real locomotive, you know.
Wheel slip,
with the old wheels swinging there. And that's a combination of probably not very good rails and a bit slippery, but also it's too much weight.
Traction,
So I think it's more to do with the torque. So it's either something to do with the gearing of it. So the gearing is too high so that there's no torque in it. And we had a problem when the Hornby 66 came out, because basically it wasn't sold as a railroad, but it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was a Lima tooling.
They came out, you know, without TTS or anything in them. So we all including Alan from Dragon Junction, we all fitted TTS in them. And the minute we did that, it literally could not pull itself out of a wet paper bag. My one I had wouldn't hardly go round the curves by itself. It would not, you know, with my second and third rails, it wouldn't actually go round the curves. And I think Alan put out a call, you know, what's going on. And I still don't know to this day who actually told him, but somebody said, if you change this CV and that CV, which alters the way the motor works, it will cure it. And it did. And now I can pull a Bachmann container wagon load with 6 wagons on, you know, no problem at all. And I've said to Anthony, you know, that it might be something to do with that. But, you know, there's a lot of things in these locomotives that we probably don't know about. And if we knew the little fix, you know, it'd be fine, you know. I know I'm going off the subject a bit, but I must admit my 55 runs really well. And I put a quick video up when it was running in with the sound on and the lights on, and did a horn and whatever. Did it in the dark to show it coming up. It's quite frightening, actually. It's completely dark with a signal box, and it comes thundering up towards you, you know. But it was fine. It was running in well, and then the train fell off and derailed it. When I actually wasn't in the loft, I'd left it to go and get a cup of tea, and it did it while I was away. So, and I took it, once I glued the chain back on, I took it back up, obviously, to try it, because I thought maybe it might have been fused as well, you know, because it really did come off. And I had the other chain fall off. It's a catalogue of failures. But yeah, I wouldn't miss not having the chains there at all. But as they're there, that's why I've decided to, when they go, and I won't break them to do it. I'll wait until they do fall off. I'll do this fix, you know, and just glue it to it. and say the manufacturers could have done that. Yeah, they could have a little bit of chain there, and the chain on the bogie problem solved. It wouldn't have made us sort of have to keep handling them and trying to put them, might knock other bits off, you know. And it's easy with hindsight, of course. You know, when you've got it in the factory and you're looking at it and you're checking it, you know, it doesn't get the wear from us. Now, you know, I'm up and down in the loft. I've got a box that I put them in to bring them down, and my rolling stock. It's all down here. My storage is down in the house, not up in the loft. There's a few trains that do have to stay up there because they're awkward to pull apart, you know. Yeah, including those Bachmann container wagons. They're a right pain. But I will never take this loco up in that box because I can see bits falling off. I also had it completely out. I don't know. I had a coupling come completely out, and I think what happened was it caught on these, you know, the little bits that open it. I always tend to cut these off because I do find they hit on some of my track work. Okay, I know the track work's not great, but I do that.
I snip the bottom off the coupling,
and I always do it at an angle like that, so that if it hits something, it will bounce out.
Yeah, the Dapo 68. I've cut mine off. Right, we're an hour and 16 into the show. We've only done one, so I think it's time to do our second of the show. It is indeed shout out time. Second shout out then, guys and gals, is from a channel that's got virtually no subscribers. Would you Adam and Eve it? So this channel is called, when I find it, I've lost it. There it go. So this channel, our second shout out of the show, is for a channel called, I'll just do that. So it's called Dunster Model Railway. Now this was a recommendation from another viewer. They did send a recommendation for this channel. And would you Adam and Eve it, this channel currently is only sitting on 5 subscribers. Yes, 5 subscribers. So we need to help bring this channel to the forefront of the community. We need to show it some respect. They do only have 2 videos on this channel at the moment. That is because the channel has only been going very shortly. His latest video was released just 4 days ago, and it was all about 60s diesel. So let's have a look. Is there anything on the about section? That's a good question. No, we got no information to tell you all on the about section. But if you are interested, oh my crikey, that's just jumped up. Dunster Model Railway is shout out number 2 of the show. See, if you like what you see, please do subscribe. When you do subscribe, hit the bell for all and select all for all notifications of a channel. And interact with the channels that you do subscribe to. Drop them a like, a thumbs up, and comment on any of their videos. Likewise, just go on to their latest videos here at Dunster. Drop them a comment and say, give them you a subscription because you've heard about it here on the YouTube Tuesday with Barnabas Junction. Let's have a look, see what you're shooting up at. Refresh. So already we've increased the subscription count on that. We've tripled, or nearly quadrupled the subscription count on that channel. Well done to you all. Thank you very much. That is shout out number 2. One more shout out yet to come. We'll get to that very shortly. But yes, we are talking Deltics today. The Accurascale Deltic, that is. The proudness or the problemness with them. Oh, that's this that Robert's showing us. We've got some loco numbers, is that?
Head codes.
Head code numbers.
Right, so Accurascale in there, have supplied all these head codes and along with what they mean, in fact.
So, right, so they come with the crane, I think.
They come with in the box. Now, I've had a look at this and it's quite good. And I've got one end. One end is 1S42, which I've got to underline somewhere if I get the right bit of paper.
Question is
1E or 5. That's it.
How do you change them?
Yeah, hang on. Right, yeah, this is what it's about. So 1S42 is the Talisman down, and the other end
change them.
And the other end is
CVs. I've done
1E05, which is the Flying Scotsman up.
Right.
I wondered whether where are we? I wondered whether you can just take, like the frame off the front and put them in, but I don't think you can. If you look at the exploded view that comes with this, it looks like it comes in from inside, which means to change the head code, you've got to take the body off. And
yeah,
I'll say
the chain problem and things like that.
I'm just trying to put it on the front of this and put it back on here.
Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase.
That one there,
Simon Train's Model Railway Showcase.
Go inside, haven't they? So, I mean, I don't mind because I can have, I can either have the Talisman going one way or Flying Scotsman going the other. But then that probably means that you're not going to detail the front, is it? Because
Simon of Simon's Trains Model Railway Showcase says that 1S42 is going to Scotland, so that is a service going to Scotland apparently.
Well, I've changed the CVs on this one to different destinations. One for Teesside and the other one's for Newcastle.
So how did you change it?
Went to the CV settings, Robert, basically put on the program track. If you go in the instruction book, right, and you type in CV 168, you've got the 8 options to choose from. So I can show you.
No, that's the announcements, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the announcements for.
Yeah, I'm talking about the physical head code now.
Oh, the head code. Literally, I've just tried it. They do peel off.
Oh, right. So they are peel. So
So I'll show you now. So basically,
but you've still got to get the body and get them in the head code.
They're literally
them on the front, is it? I don't think.
No, that's where they go. They go into they do fit inside the glass themselves.
They do.
Yeah.
So what have you got to do?
There isn't, is it?
Stick them on the outside then.
Yeah. The one that's in here has actually got plastic. If I can get it.
Right, so it's got a plastic cover on the front of it.
It's got a plastic cover on it, so the head code is behind it.
Ah, right. So
to me, that needs
Craig,
to be,
it looks like they are actually an internal change, not an external
change. And my announcements do tie up with the head codes.
So well, I'm changing the announcements on this one, but I'm not. Who's going to look at the head codes anyway? At the end of the day.
Yeah, but
the rivets. Right, he says S equals Scotland. Here we go. S equals Scotland, A equals London, and think E equals he thinks E equals Leeds. So S, which is 1S42, it means it's going to Scotland.
Well, I can play these now. It's on the track.
Yeah,
if you want us to.
On this list, 1S42 is a 1973, the Talisman down, which would indicate that it was going to London.
No. When you go into the capital city, it's going up.
It's up to London, isn't it?
In respect to where you are in the country, it's always up to London.
Yeah, the capital city is always up, regardless wherever you are in the country, no matter whether you're north, east, south, west. If you're going to the capital, you're going up.
Oh, right, okay.
So yeah,
if you live in the north like me, you want to
straight away about this. I said, even the announcements are the wrong way around because it says the down announcement and it says it's going to Scotland. I says, and I said it the wrong way around anyway, and I was corrected.
Right.
I did do the announcements on my little short video showing this running in.
I do quite.
The logo's not in view, but it's just behind you, and I didn't actually. I can hear it, but I didn't actually pay attention, so I'm not sure whether mine's the same. But
I'll play these ones on here for you. The setup. So this is going down, I believe. F40 is going down. Hang on, 2 seconds. The train at platform 5 in the 5 p.m. time Pullman calling York, Darlington, and Newcastle Central.
Quite good announcements.
Yeah.
So that one's going down.
The TPE 68, that's got announcements in it. The Coda from Roads and Rails.
And this one's going up.
That one's quiet.
So that one's starting Newcastle, calling it Durham, down to London, King's Cross.
Very good. I do like them. Nice and clear, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm just going to pop out and play my bit on mine and see if it's what it says, all right?
Okie dokie.
Well, you probably still see me. I don't know. Hang on. There we go. I don't know if you can you still hear me?
Yeah.
All right. I can hear you too. Right. Hang on. I'm just going to play this. Just a tick.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do I need to go there? Don't I? You come. Okay. Oh, it's quite a long way down.
So I'm just looking at the chat. Read what I put, Jason. Right.
We've got 5 pairs of tickets to the Love Island live final up for grabs. With a holiday to Mallorca.
M6 came with those codes in. Even the ones with the domino.
I'm going to have to go, guys, because my phone battery's running low and this charge's not working. So,
okay.
we'll catch you up later. Take care.
Take care. Thanks very much, Craig.
No worries. Bye.
Did you hear that?
Briefly, it was just broken up a little bit, but yeah, just about heard it.
I still, even though I had my ear right, I still couldn't understand what it was saying, to be honest. Yeah. Hang on, I better just. I'm just going to do me. That's it. I've muted it back. I've got the weight of everybody on top of me now, have I? Lucky I've got my gun hat on, isn't it? You know.
I'm just passing you a drink.
Might protect. Yeah, I could do with a drink. Actually, I'm getting a bit dry, but I've had my beer and I've had my tea at 8 o'clock. So, I don't know. Never mind. I suppose I could go and get some water.
Thank you very much, guys, for coming on and talking about your Deltics. Obviously, everybody has had their own issues in their own ways, got their own thoughts on it, and it's great that we've had different thoughts and opinions on the matter. I'll say, obviously, everybody will have a different opinion on anything, and that's what's called an open debate. And an open debate is always a good debate. Thank you very much. I do know there's been some chat going on in the chat room, in the live chat, some quite heated chat, I believe. So please bear with it. It is a public chat room where you are under the observation of my great moderators. Please do keep things civil at all times. So thank you very much for joining us in the chat, everybody. We do still have another shout out yet to go in the show. And we've also got details about another issue in the modelling community I want to be talking to you about briefly. But we'll probably go more detail into that next week. But I'm going to briefly talk about that before we bring the stream to an end. And also, I've got the details of what's coming up next week in relation to a giveaway for you lovely viewers. Yes, tickets to the DRS Open Day taking place here in Crewe on the 16th of July. More on that very soon. So, Jeff, are you going to get your Deltic sorted? You're going to get in touch with Accura?
Yeah, I should get in touch with Accurascale. And if they can replace it with the unbroken one, then I'll send it back. But,
Robert, are you happy with yours, even though there is a couple of...
Yeah, I'll keep mine. I mean, the detail that is causing problems, you hardly notice. I don't know if any of you have seen Peter Dixon's channel.
I do follow it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I think if he had one of these and he was doing what he does, then yes, you would see all the detail that wasn't there. But I don't tend to do that. I do close-ups, but not to that extreme. So as long as mine continues to run okay, and I don't know how many other of you that have issues a bit with the slow speed running. I found it fairly jerky when it came out of the box, and I've run it in a bit. I haven't run it completely in because obviously the chain fell off. Excuse me, but yeah, even with a bit of running in, it doesn't seem to make it an awful lot better. I'm hoping that when I integrate it into iTrains, where basically iTrains takes over the decoder functions, it will be better. But obviously, if it's something to do with the gearing or something like that, then that won't make any difference. So it'd be interesting to see when I do get it into iTrains and we get it running automatically. Yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm also happy that, you know, I have only had to wait 3 days for mine. And
rubbing it in, Robert.
I'm really, really sorry. But on the other hand, Jeff, if you'd have left it until I bought mine, you wouldn't have got the one you want, would you? You know? So if you want a specific one, you've got to go for it. Now, I've noticed that Daypole are bringing out some more 68s, aren't they?
Yes, I've heard the announcements today.
I was disappointed to see there's no sound ones in there yet. So hopefully they bring some sound. If a sound one comes, I might, you know, I might get. I would like one in cross country if they do a cross country 68 because I've got some carriages.
I must say I've become a sound snob, and a lot of my good sound quality locos have got the Zimo chip in, and I've got a 68 with a sound file that was previously designed for the N scale 68s, but it was put onto a Zimo chip for me, and then they actually started when it was actually shown and people saw it, news got back to them, so they started producing it as a thing to go out as a general item, and it's a fantastic sound. But it's all thanks to Al Sounds for the speaker that he put in as well. So it's that's a TPE 68 that I've got, because my TPE 68 had a Lego Man Biffo decoder in it, and it went on somebody's layout, and all of a sudden it stopped, didn't go any further, and it went quiet, and the chip had blown. But it ran and the lights came on, but then all of a sudden it just didn't work at all after that. Did it, Jace?
Yeah, it sounded great for all of about 5 seconds.
Yeah. But then, I spent a long time waiting before I got round to having a new sound decoder in that. But
I've got Roads and Rails with, I think mine's has got Lego Man Biffo sound on mine. No, it might not be. Do you know, I can't remember. But it's a Roads and Rails sound decoder, and I can't fault it. It's absolutely sounds brilliant, and it just runs a dream. Brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely.
mine does.
I'm now gripping my wooden table rather firmly, because so far I think I've only had, off the top of my head, I think I've only actually had 2 decoders go, and they were both TTS ones. So all my expensive ones, shall we say, are so far good. I'm gripping onto this table like dear life. I really am. This is a table that my train set started on, if you've seen it at the beginning. But it's quite nice that I can actually do this, because with a train on it, I probably couldn't have done this. So, yeah. So I've been lucky. We get these. I think we can say that all manufacturers supply us sometimes with engines and other things that aren't perfect.
Yeah.
And
there's got to be some. Yeah.
Because we're modelers, or some of us are. I'm not a great, but because we're hands-on, shall we say, we tend to overcome them, don't we? I will only really send a loco back. I had Maud. Remember Hornby's Maud?
I remember that.
J36, I think, wasn't it? And my model came and I waited for it a while. I don't think I pre-ordered it, but I waited a little while. It came, the funnel was broken off, which, okay, I could have stuck it back on. Put it on the rails. All the functions worked. It sort of the steam, the sound came up. Pushed it to go forward, nothing happened. It just sat there. So in that case, I send it back. And the other one that comes to mind is my N7, my Oxford Rail N7. I did actually pre-order that. And that's in the days when I did do that. And I waited a long time for it. And when it came, I put it on the rails, and it literally derailed at every point. It could not go around my layout at all. It would derail. And what it was, I took it down here, and I put it on top of my cooker's glass top, over the rings.
Wobbly.
It was wobbly, yeah. In other words, the metal chassis was twisted.
Yeah.
So I sent that back. I got a new one, and I've actually since bought another new one. My original one, the pin that holds the connecting rod on came out when it was running. And yes, it's not a good idea when that happens, and it's and I haven't been able to get spare bits for it.
Right.
If anybody knows where you can get N7 spare bits for Oxford Rails N7s, please let me know, because I did look online and nobody seems to do it. Peter Spares sent him an email and said, can you? Even he couldn't send them, so it's pretty bad, isn't it? If they can't do it,
Yeah.
So at the moment, I can use it. I've put it was the middle one that came out, but I took the one. No, it was the N one that came out. So I took the middle one out and used that to hold it at both ends, and bent the connecting rod in so that it's pushing nice and firmly against that middle wheel. Because there is a pin that it sort of sits on, but not ideal. But my new one is great, and it's a sound one as well. So I do like the N7,
Yeah. Well, thanks very much for the pair of you. Now, I'm just going to actually keep you with us for a moment, because we're just going to we're not going to go in big detail, but we're asked now, we're just briefly talking about Hornby. Have you both seen the announcement today?
No.
Right.
That finishes that conversation then, doesn't it?
No, because that actually opens up a little bit. I'm going to ask you, did you see in the January announcements from Hornby about the Titfield Thunderbolt pack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the controversy regarding Rapido trains?
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, a press announcement has been released from Hornby. They have now legally announced an apology for their production and announcement of that said pack, and the lady in the lamp pack, and announced they will not be doing that pack. They have put out a press release. They have withdrawn it from production and said they'll no longer be offering it to the public. That was at a press release today, and I've looked into the wording of that press release, and I don't know, this is my personal opinion, that's a legal statement, in my opinion. What do you guys think are in the chat? Any of you guys seen? I did post it. It was posted in the MRY.
Hornby.
Like me to read it out if you've not seen it.
I've got an instant thought.
Got it right here.
Yeah, I've got an instant thought. It's not worth making something if, because you get taken to court, you're not going to make any money out of it, because they're still there to make money, aren't they?
Yeah. Press release
so
dated
that would be a good reason for pulling out, wouldn't it?
2022. Yeah. For several months, there has been some speculation concerning the introduction of 2 Hornby train packs under the sub-brand title of Trains on Film, which both featured in one form or another L and MR number 57 Lion and associated rolling stock The films concerned were The Lady and the Tramp and the Titfield Thunderbolt. Okay, well, let me just go to the next part of it. Hornby Hobbies have decided to now remove these two trains of film packs from the Hornby 2022 product range and acknowledges and accepts that Studio Canal, who owns the licensing rights to Thunderbolt locomotives as depicted in the Titfield Thunderbolt film, as well as Dan Taylor's grounding carriage body. Hornby also acknowledges and accepts that Studio Canal owns the title rights to the films Titfield Thunderbolt and The Lady with a Lamp. Along with this, the Bedford coach within the trains on film category has also been cancelled. We apologise for any inconvenience caused. I'm no legal expert, but in my opinion, that is a court-ordered, instructed legal statement that's been issued to the public. What are your thoughts?
Before it got to court, I think it was just a threat of going to court that would have stopped that.
One of those cease and desist.
I think
send this out, put that out, or
I've met Simon Kohler at Getz.
I've met Simon
3 years ago, and he's certainly brought Hornby back from maybe the brink. I think he's a chancer. I think he sort of we'll have a go at this, and then when it obviously isn't going to work, then he's got a common sense to sort of.
My thoughts on that. Added thoughts on that is maybe at first thoughts of the production of these products. Simon didn't really have a proper knowledge about the licensing until it became announced, and then obviously it was found out about Rapido have the ultimate and only allowed licensing for the products for that. I wonder if someone's jobs have been put on the line regarding that. Something we may find out in the near future. Maybe, we don't know. But somebody's obviously got a bit of a ticking off, I'd say, on that.
Have you seen comment from Simo Trains Model Railway Showcase? And he's basically saying 4 hours later, Hornby announced a special pack with LNMR number 51 Lion locomotive.
Yes, I did notice that, and I did get it as well. But I did see that. We noticed how they completely removed the licensing legislation that was instructed to be removed from it. It's just issued as L&MR number, referencing whatsoever to Lady and the Lamp or Titfield Thunderbolt. I believe so. Apart from the name Lion, that is it. So they've obviously had to have a bit of a think about it and see what points there is licensing legislation available for them to use that's not subcontracted to somebody else, and also what is not actually on it. So they've obviously been given the all clear to go with that style of branding for that product. So
changing the subject just for a second, Penrith Road, comment on that, he's sort of saying to me, basically the 68s that Dapel are bringing out, they couldn't come to an agreement with Zemo over the sound ones, so maybe they won't get them. You read that?
I see that from Penrith. So excellent. Thank you very much, Penrith, for that interesting
wealth of information on here, isn't there?
Good stuff. Thank you very much for all your input, everybody, for joining us in the comments and your thoughts. Obviously, we haven't been able to follow up what everybody said in the chat, but I will after the show and over the next week or so. I'll have a look through, and if I find anything to pull out of there and comment in future episodes, I will do just to follow up on your comments. Sapphire Junction there saying, can't believe Hornby's legal team didn't put the brakes on it earlier. I thought that, especially when the official, obviously Rapido did put a statement out, didn't they? So I would have thought it could have and should have ended a bit sooner instead of taking this long.
Well, Timber Surf's got a good comment there. He's basically saying management pushed it through against Simon and MD were against it. Well, who are management if not Simon and MD, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Who
I'm
knows?
sure the finer details will come crawling out of the woodwork eventually. We'll find out one day or another.
Not
We modelers find everything out.
Yeah, not necessarily. Hornby are very good at keeping things that they don't want out, I think. Yeah.
Something,
I think so.
maybe. Wait and see. Right then, guys, I've got one more final shout out of the show to do. I'll get to that in a moment. But yes, thank you very much, Jeff. Thank you very much, Robert. And obviously, thank you very much, Craig, who was in earlier, for joining us on the show tonight. It's all talking about the Accurascale Class 55 Deltics. It's been great to talk to you guys. It's great to get your thoughts and ideas and to see what problems you've all had arisen. And for Craig's sake, he hasn't got a Deltic. He's just got one on his layout, which doesn't belong to him. But yeah, he's all horns and whistles with his, literally. He's got no problem with, well, not his, with Darren's or something it's called. It belongs to. But yeah, we all are happy with the production of the Deltic. We've just got a few of us that are not happy with the overall on the layout quality. Fingers crossed, Accurascale can step up to the mark and sort any issues.
In my case, the detail is just a bit too far. The detail is just too fragile. If you did it in O gauge, fine, it would probably be all right. But I think in double O, it's just, it's all to scale, isn't it? So, you do a 1 millimeter diameter bit of plastic, and that in scale in real life is 75 millimeters, which is 3 inches, which is, like that, So,
what I can say though,
and they've obviously done the chain in metal because a plastic one would be far too weak, But it should have been the case.
Yeah, that would be one odd case if they produced it in N. Wow, how tiny would that be then? How delicate?
No, they'd be painting
they honestly wouldn't be able to, would they?
Don't think so. No. I don't think you get chain that small anyway. I mean,
right then.
Right.
Thank you very much, guys. I'll drop you down into the waiting room. Again, thank you very much for joining us all. We've still got a shout-out, so don't go anywhere, everybody that's tuned in. We will wait to see who that shout-out is. So, Robert, thank you very much for joining us.
I'm going to sign off, and I thanks everybody for their comments, and that was quite interesting.
Yeah.
And, have a look at my chain fix, if you call it a fix. And comments would be welcome.
Absolutely.
But, it's a nice model. They've done a really good job. It's just one bit too far, a bit like the Hatton's axles, really.
Sore subject.
yeah. But I think the manufacturers, because of all the detail that everybody's making, they just try and get a wow factor in it.
Yeah.
So the axle ends on the Hatton 66 was a wow factor, and we must have that because it's got that.
And then it was wrong.
And I think partly these chains are a similar thing, and they've both got unstuck, haven't they? Literally as well as metaphorically, So, but yeah, I want them to make models that are detailed, but I also want them to think that these have got to be handled by, 70-year-old people that aren't particularly adept at carrying things. And I'm really, oh dear, I've got to carry this. And also, you really need to move the bogies to get the wheels on the track, don't you?
Yeah.
So in a way, you're rubbing these chains when you're doing that. It's very difficult to completely avoid them.
Yeah.
And if they're not up to the job, they're going to come off, aren't they?
Indeed.
I've said
thank you very much.
And
thank you very much, Robert,
for having us.
And we'll hope we can see you again in the near future here on the show.
Yeah, I'll get the trains running if it's cooled down, although I don't think it's going to do it. And yes, what everybody said about the heat, yeah, take your models out. I'm not sure that they would actually. The only thing that's going to probably happen to them is maybe the grease and the oil will, get very liquidy and run out. That's all. That's would be my fear, I think.
Yeah.
But as I bring them down, putting in the cabinet down here anyway, because I like to look at them. It's a sensible precaution, I would say. And even in your air-conditioned bit with the hole in the roof, probably not a bad idea either. Actually, if it's 40 degrees, I went to Australia a few years ago, to Brisbane, and they've all got sort of shopping malls over there, a bit like America, really. And we went in, and it's all air-conditioned, and you're walking around, lovely. And you come out, and as you come out, the automatic doors open, and it's like you're walking into an oven. It really is at 40 degrees,
Yeah.
Don't underestimate how hot 40 degrees feels. Right, I'm going. I've had
All right. Okay. Cheers, Robert. See you again soon.
Cheers, then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye to Robert. Take care.
Bye.
Right, and that obviously leaves us with Jeff. Thank you very much. One thing I will just highlight to everybody, Jeff, you've got actual, not just firm issues with obviously the chains, and now you know about the rattling speaker, but you've also actually got actual glue on your wheels, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a few people who's had glue, and the problem is that I've held it in a position to have a look at the wheels, but I need to sort of really rotate the wheels, so I need to power it up and just move the wheels very slightly to look round the whole of the wheel.
Yeah.
I can see marks on there, and I have got a close-up video, and you can see marks on the wheels, but it isn't a very good video when it comes to seeing exactly what it is, where you can see it with your bare eyes or in a close-up photo. It doesn't look as though it's visible, but it doesn't look like big lumps like on some people's.
Yeah.
Where they show it, but you can actually, if you run it slowly, you can actually see that it's doing a full rotation every time it makes a noise, and that's indicative of it being on the wheels.
Right. Well, we'll hopefully look forward to an update from yourselves about whatever developments.
Yeah, as soon as I find out what actually is wrong with it, or what I mean. I didn't really. I fancied doing a video on YouTube on my channel, but I thought twice about it. I would rather do a video once it's all been sorted one way or another, either to say thank you very much, Accurascale, you've done me proud, you've done what you need to do, and I'm really pleased with it, or well, they couldn't be bothered. It's one or the other, but they haven't had the chance. I don't want to say something without them being around to give their side of the story. I think that's unfair. So I didn't want to sort of publicly slate them or anything like that. I just wanted to show you what I'm experiencing at the moment. And, I will be giving Accurascale full information so they can decide what they want to do about it. And that's fair, really.
Excellent stuff. Well, thank you very much, Jeff, for joining us. We'll see you again 2 weeks in a row. We've seen you now for two different subjects. We will hopefully be hearing again from you very soon. So until next time, Jeff, thank you very much for joining us. Okay. This is Jeff of Jumble Lane Model Railway and Jumble Lane Printing and
cheers
BTM Models. Until next time, Jeff, take care.
Bye. Bye.
So thank you very much to my guests for joining us this week. We do still have one final shout out of the show. Let's get the roll on. Lights, camera, action. Rightio, so our third shout out of the show, our final shout out of the show, is going to a channel that is quite for you animated futuristic type people, but still into model railways. This is for you N-scale modelers out there, or N-gauge modelers out there. I believe it's American channel, actually. Excuse me. It's an American channel. No information on the about section, but it's a channel that's been going for approximately 2 years, I think. Currently sitting on 324 subscribers. This channel is known by the person's name, and the name is James, I hope I don't ruin it, Tuverson. James Tuverson is the channel name. The layout name, I'm not sure on what the actual layout name is called. He's just called it Layout Project. And I've been following this. If you like your lighting, this is a layout for you to look at, because I love the lighting, the night scene lighting on this N-scale layout. Absolutely cracking, and the ambient lighting around it he does for his videos is very unusual but excellent too. So currently he's sitting on 324. Let's have a look at who is elsewise. 326, yes, subscribers are jumping up. So the channel for third shout out today is James Tuverson. Remember, when you do subscribe to a channel, please do interact it. If you do like the channel, then please do subscribe. Click on the bell, select all notifications so you don't miss out on any future videos or uploads from that channel. And interact with the channel, drop them a thumbs up, like on their most recent videos or any videos that you do happen to watch, and drop them a comment. Let them know where you heard about them for a shout out for that channel. It was indeed on here on the Barnabas Junction's YouTube Tuesday. That's the shout outs over and done with. Thank you very much. We're going to just briefly talk again about what's coming next week. If you want to go to the DRS, that's the Direct Rail Services, would you go? Direct Rail, the layout basically. Direct Rail Services Open Day taking place here in my hometown of Crewe on the 16th of July 2022. Gates open at 10 a.m. I think. I have got tickets to give away for you guys and gals out there. I've got 2 adult tickets and 4 children's tickets to give away. So I'll be doing that in 2 prizes. There'll be 1 adult ticket with 2 children's tickets to go as 1 prize, and vice versa with the others. So if you haven't yet got your ticket and you want the chance to get your hands on one of these prizes, you have got to, and I say you've got to be, one of 2 things. One, you have got to be a channel subscriber. Simple as that. Click the subscribe button. That's 50% of your entry in place. Second thing, to get your tickets, get the chance to win those tickets, is you've got to be here tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next week. Tomorrow. Next week, next Tuesday, here on the next episode of YouTube Tuesday. You've got to be here live on the stream from 8 o'clock. Yes, 8 o'clock next Tuesday. I will be doing the giveaway live on the stream for those 2 prizes. If you are the successful winner and you are wanting to keep the prize and use that prize, then to claim your prize, you've got to be at the event on the 16th to collect your prize. I do have them here already with me. They finally did arrive a couple of days ago. They are here now. I would have shown you on the stream, but I've gone and left them downstairs. But next week I'll have them in my hands. They arrived in the post. So yes, next week, tickets for the DRS Open Day up for grabs. Make sure you are tuned in with the chance to win. Remember, you must be a subscriber and you've got to be on the stream live for that chance to win those tickets. So until next time, everybody, thank you very much for joining in. Thank you very much for all the chat taking place in the stream. It's been greatly appreciated and very much enjoyed looking and watching through what you've all had to say about the Deltics, as well as other things going on in the chat. So until next time, everybody, you take care of yourselves. Take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you next time, next Tuesday, here on Barnabas Junction. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep on modelling. Bye from me.